Before I start my today's class, let me make you things very clear. Yesterday was the first demo class. Yesterday was our first demonstration class, and in that demonstration class, I have come up with introduction to SQL Server. I just gave some overview kind of things connecting with that, and then we discussed about standalone environment. Standalone environment. Yeah, I'll show you that, what I have explained. Yes, standalone environment. Yesterday, I gave this example, this small picture kind of thing. Instead of making theoretical points on this, I just have made one simple architecture kind of thing to explain how standalone environment works, since you'll be available only with one production server. Yeah. Yesterday's class it was. And then we went with the roles and responsibilities of DBA. In that first part we discussed was, first point that we studied it is installation and configuration of SQL Server. Yeah. Developer will not. And one more thing before I start, you can ask management of my yesterday's class video. They will share with you. You can go through that video to revise what I have discussed in my last session. Yeah, detailed things will be there in it. You go through it because we didn't start any practicals. Yeah. To begin with practical, there are a lot of topics that you need to be aware of. After that, we'll get into practicals. Okay. Yeah. So probably we take around more 2 sessions to discuss few theoretical things about SQL Server administration, SQL Server software. After that, we'll get into a small, practical session. And full-fledged practicals on SQL Server administration will begin whenever I come up with SQL Server database classes. From there, we'll have full-fledged practicals only. Okay, that is for your knowledge. And now, as I said, installation and configuration, both are in the control of DBA. Developer, whenever joins into an organization, right, his details will be shared to DBA, and DBA will take care of the rest of the things. Okay. And now, before installation and configuration, there are few things that you need to be quite very clear about before you start that installation and configuration. What it is, you should know versions of SQL Server, which version will be suitable for the project which company is taking SQL Server as backend. So you are the one who guides them. Like whatever are their requirements in the project, they'll explain you. The database importance they'll show you. Based on that, since that you carry knowledge of all the versions of SQL Server, you make yourself upgrade always with respect to even the features of latest version of SQL Server. So you are the one who makes a decision to guide the company that this so and so version of SQL Server will be suitable for so and so project. Yeah. Just knowing versions is not sufficient. You should know even editions of SQL Server as well. Should know editions of a SQL Server. And after that, things will come following pre-installation steps. This is for your DBS knowledge. You are not going to share them with anyone because you are administrator. You know what are the prerequisites to be followed before the installation starts. Then you go with installation process, and then you should go with post installation steps, and after that you should go with server level configuration. You should know about this also. Yeah. Then you should know database level configuration. This is also important. And even you should know connection level configuration. Yeah, three things are there. Server level, database level, connection level. Three types of configuration, right? And second thing that you would study is working of SQL Server databases. Second part. Yeah. And even when we come up with practicals on SQL Server towards this installation configuration, definitely these things will be covered in detail. Server level configuration, what are important, database level configuration, what are important, connection level configuration, what are important. Actually, connection level configuration, even developer will have idea on that. Yeah, I'll discuss next class. I'll discuss life cycle of database. In that life cycle of database, I'll explain you how the process will go from designing to development and from development to administration. Okay. And in this, you will write types of databases. Yeah. Then storage architecture. Yeah, this itself will take storage architecture itself will take around around 1 week of sessions. We'll discuss 1 week. Yeah, about everything, internal working of database, physical level of database, types of pages, types of, we got extents, lot of things are there that will explain you internal working of database. Then we learn about transaction processing. Then we learn about creating and maintaining user databases. These are the this is second option that which is available for SQL Server databases. Yeah. Then third, that is all about working with what SQL Server databases. Then we learn security in SQL Server. Under security, yeah, here everything will come. Storage architecture doesn't mean only I'll talk about storage process. No, transactions will come. What do you call transactions will come. Transaction internal working mechanism will come. Types of database related files will come, and how are we going to work on those files, that will come. Lot of things are there that will be a part of storage architecture. That's what I've said. No, around 1 week or more than that, we discuss only about that SQL Server physical environment working process, towards how it internally maintains your data whenever developer submits or whenever developer stores the data. So that part we'll discuss under it. Yeah. In security part, we'll discuss logins, users, roles, permissions, schemas, auditing, encryption, decryption, TD, policy-based management, etc. Yes, these are the things that are part of security in SQL Server. Yeah, this also we'll be discussing. Lot of things are there, especially towards roles. Towards roles. Yeah, roles may we learn. Server roles we learn. Custom server roles we learn. Database roles we learn. Custom database roles we learn. I just made a heading as roles. Doesn't mean like roles is one small topic. No, lot of things are there connecting with roles. Okay. But these are the things that I'm going to cover in. And after that, we'll discuss something related with, uh, what do you call, huh, disaster recovery planning. Yeah. And in this disaster recovery planning, we are going to study about backup recovery and restoring techniques. Yeah. Backup, recovery, and restore. That itself is a module that deals with how do we go with 8 types of backups. 7 to 8 types of backups are there. Full backup, right? Differential backup, transaction log backup, tail log backup, file and file group backup, right? Like this, we have how many? Yeah, around 7 to 8 types of backups we have. Yeah, those all things I'll cover in one of my batches currently going on at 8 o'clock. One of the batches which is going on for me. Yeah, I'm taking the module for them as backup recovery, restore and recovery. Yeah, 8 p.m. batch. Types of backups. Yeah, yeah. Here, 8 types of backups. Mirrored backup, stripped backup, copy only backup. For them, today I'm done. I completed 4 backups for them today. Full differential transaction, tail log backup. 4. See the last one today. Today only it is. Here, tail log backup. Process, restoring process was remaining for them for tomorrow's question. I'm going to deal with them. Yeah. It's for knowledge I'm saying. Yeah. Backup restore. I've just wrote the heading, doesn't mean that the topic is small, right? That also will take around 1 week or 10 days session. We'll discuss on that part. Then we will discuss how do you learn, how do you perform migration of database and server. Yes, migration of database and server. That part also we will discuss. Hmm. Recovery is different, restoring is different. Two different things I'm talking about. Backup, recovery, and restore. Yeah, restoring with techniques are there. As backup techniques are there, restoring techniques are there. Something you call them like restore with recovery, restore with no recovery, restore with standby. You got options available. Options available. Hmm. And migration of database and server is a migration of database and server. Here we learn around 5 techniques for migration of database. 5 techniques. One will be backup, migration through backup files. Yeah. Second, second point we learn about generating scripts. This is one more way of migrating your database. Third technique that is called detach and attach of database. That is one part we'll discuss. And fourth technique, making database offline and online. That is one of the technique. Yeah, like that we have around 5 techniques to deal with, migration of database from one server to another server. Okay, that is one part. And in fifth module, we learn about automation, automation tasks. And here you learn with one special module that deals with SQL Server agent. Yeah. Are you all following me what I'm saying? Vishal, are you there? Vishal, am I audible to you? You can unmute your mic if there is participants. One option will be there in the Zoom meeting. open it and you can unmute yourself. Noor, you're following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, right. So automation tasks, this is like we are going to schedule them. We are going to schedule them, right? Day, date, time, how many times you want it to run, all those specifications you are going to explain. How do you do that process using this? Jobs, steps, scheduling, yeah, then alerts, then operators, then DB mail, and lot of other options also available. Yeah. Fifth one, automation tasks. Then we learn about high availability, high availability. And in that we learn replication as one. Replication में all types of replications we will study. Nothing will be theory. Practical orientation will study. Practical. Snapshot, right? Transactional, peer-to-peer, merge, types of replications. We will study them, right? Practical. Hmm. And then second, we study database mirroring. And third, we have log shipping. Fourth, we learn always on. And fifth, I'll explain clustering. These all comes under high availability features. Replication types are there. DB mirroring, especially under failure types, you got choices available in it. You have choices available. Yeah. Okay. And then lock shipping types are there always on. And remember, these all, especially DB mirroring, lock shipping, they are purely dependent on backup restore process. The more you practice backup and restore, the more confusion will be avoided when we implement database mirroring and lock shipping. Yeah, they are connected topics, I meant to say. Okay. And then we learn then something called performance monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting. Yeah. And in this process, now something very important for us is about troubleshooting errors. And this is a module, what I would suggest is, especially the seventh module, performance monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting. This is a module. It is like you can call in a simple way, like ever learning content. It is ever learning. You understand? Because until and unless you don't come across with error, you don't come across with, issues, until as we don't learn it. So this is kind of experience. So what I would be doing for this, especially this content, is whatever the issues that I have come across in my things, connecting with that, I'll be discussing, what do you call? Yeah, yeah, I'll be discussing those things with you. That notes I'll share with you so that will be easy for you to understand. Okay. Troubleshooting, what did I say? Errors. Ever learning it is, because there is a reason why we call especially for performance monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting, since it is something related with performance. So this is kind of experience profile. And here we learn here DBA should be proactive or DBA should be reactive. Proactive in the sense, if you handle these things properly, if you handle these things properly with respect to day-to-day activity, if you do day-to-day, if you handle the things properly, definitely you may not come across with big issues in your working process. Never we come across. But if you delay handling the issues, if you delay handling the whatever the uh, performance issues that you come across, so then one issue may put you onto some other issue may put you on a third issue, then slowly issues will arise and situations will come in such a way that no more server will be available for your accessing. Okay. Second part, troubleshooting what errors. And then we learn what identifying performance issues. Yeah, that is also one important factor. What it is? Identify performance issues. Yeah. And which tools are best, which techniques are best to handle it. And those all things step by step. Whenever the topic goes, I'll get back to you in detail about it. Okay. Yeah. Then we learn about how to apply tuning techniques. Yes. How to apply tuning techniques. Right. Whatever content that which I provide, especially in this part, that is more than enough, even with respect to like if you're trying for a job. If you're trying for a job on experience profile. Yeah. Mm. Yes. This is what we are as a DBA, you're responsible for. This is what I mean to say, like roles of database administrator. Yeah. And here, simple to understand. I didn't talk about programming. I didn't talk about writing queries. I didn't talk about something debugging program. I didn't talk about testing. I didn't talk. Yeah, that is not fine. Yeah, you're not going to do any programming part as an administrator. You're querying process you may come across. Yeah, queries you are supposed to write. Situations definitely will arise. You are the one who writes, because that is the reason why always I suggest like you cannot learn database administration directly without a knowledge of SQL server. Compulsory, you should have SQL server knowledge, that too with respect to development knowledge. Yeah, there you can learn how to. Here, I'm not going to make you learn how to create a view, how to create a synonym, how to create a table, how to create procedure, how to create trigger. Those things we don't learn. That is not administration part. That is development part. And I say yesterday's classmates, like SQL Server comes actually in three modules. SQL Server comes in three modules. SQL Server development, SQL Server business intelligence, SQL server, administration. 3 modules. Yeah. SQL server developer, he will be aware of writing queries, right? Creating tables, programming, testing, all those things he will have idea. And the DBA, you are responsible for all these things. And when it comes to business intelligence, for that, Microsoft has introduced 3 special modules called integration services, reporting services, analysis services. 3 modules: integration services, reporting services, analysis services. Yeah, that we will discuss whenever that module comes. But approach we have, I mean to say, approach we have. Scenarios are different, right? Working process will be different. That is the reason I definitely will come up with some strong queries to be written when I'm going with my practical sessions. Yeah. So I'm not going to explain you what are joins, what are subqueries. Those are all development level. But if you have minimum knowledge of that part, then administration becomes little easy for you to handle. Okay. Yeah. You have anything still to ask me on this part? Go ahead. Yeah. Yes, please. Noor, you have any questions to ask? Go ahead.
No question, sir. So how much will be shared?
Sorry.
No, no. So how is the note will be shared to us?
You're not clearly audible. Can you come again? What you're asking?
The notes, how
Ah,
the notes will
okay, no
be shared?
problem. I'll share the note. See, that's what, okay. Since you asked me, I'm saying notes will be shared by me, and software also I myself will share with you. And one more thing is videos, since they are being recorded in cloud, management will share the videos with you. Okay, notes I will share. Yeah, probably once I get your email IDs from the management, then I start sharing the notes. Okay, nothing to worry on it. Yeah. Actually, my previous session, that is a session at 9 o'clock, it got very much late today. 9 to 10, that was got late because I was showing them with some practical point. So it took some time. For that reason, our session got little late today. Otherwise, session will start exactly at 10 o'clock. Okay. Don't worry on it. 10 to 11. And one more point also, let me make you clear. This 10 to 11 session will not be for long time. This will be the time only for few days. And you all will be clubbed into a batch at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock batch is our actual time. This actually, they are little ahead of us. So what we do is 10 o'clock session, we will go for few days, right? Wherever 9 o'clock batch is there, till that particular topic, I'll take the sessions at 10 o'clock. Once you reach to the topic where those people are, then you all will be clubbed into 9 o'clock batch. So our actual class timing will be at 9 o'clock. Okay, be clear on it. 10 o'clock session will not be forever for us. For few days it will be. Once we reach to the topic where that 9 o'clock batch people are, then you'll be clubbed into 9 o'clock batch. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then we have next topic to study called life cycle of database implementation. Refer to .png file. Okay, that tomorrow's class. I'll explain you in detail.